Hi, my name is David Wallimann. Welcome to this channel, which is all about helping guitar players like you find your voice on the instrument, develop it to tell your own personal musical story. And today is all about the blues. 5 different examples today that are going to highlight the chords of the blues. This is a traditional blues in G. So we've got a G7 chord, G dominant 7, a C dominant 7, and a D dominant 7. Let me show you first what that blues turnaround is in terms of the chords. That happens at the end of the track where you have that G, the C, back to the G, and to the D. And then you start again. And it's called a turnaround because it basically takes the chord progression and turns it around and kind of like rewinds it or recharges it so that it can keep going. And that's what we're going to highlight today. So those 3 chords are going to be highlighted, and those licks were designed in a way that you can kind of hear the chord progression without having to hear the chord progression. Anyways, let's get started with turnaround number 1. This turnaround uses a couple concepts. The first one is a triad. So what is a triad? It's a chord, a 3-note chord. In this case, we are going to highlight the major triad of that G7 chord with root, major 3rd, and perfect 5th. And we're going to play it in this position, which is called the C position right here. We've got our C on we've got our root on the 5th string, 10th fret. And we're going to ascend that triad, starting with the pinky here. And then from here, which is the root, 3rd, 5th, root, 3rd, from the 3rd to the 5th, we're going to do a chromatic thing and descend that. Okay, that highlights that G7 chord. What's important here is the rhythm. We're in 16th triplets, so that's 6 notes per beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything carries on that subdivision, but we're starting on the 2nd 16th triplets. So if this is our tempo, 2, 3, 4, and we have our subdivision like this, we'll start on the 2nd. It's really important to do that. And then we're moving on to highlighting that C chord. And for that, we're going to play some pentatonic. And that pentatonic is actually extracted from that C dominant 7. Kind of playing off of that minor 7th here. Make sure that you are playing a half step bend. You don't want to go too high because we're really trying to highlight this note, which is the minor 7. Okay, something like that. And then we're going to end here and then make sure that you have this at the end, which highlights that part of the chord progression at the end. Anyways, that was turnaround number 1. Let's move on to turnaround number 2. Turnaround number 2 also uses triads and pentatonic scales. We're going to start with a major pentatonic scale, a sliding major pentatonic scale in G. Just like the first lick, we're starting on the 2nd 16th triplets. So if this is our beat, da, da, we've got 6 notes per beat, da, 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 and we're starting on the 2nd one. Da, 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 something like that, okay? And we'll ascend a sliding major pentatonic position. Okay, you can check out the tabs for that, but it's a very simple and useful pentatonic that goes from one area of the fretboard to the next. And then once we're at the red here, we're going to descend that kind of shape, which highlights that major triad for C, which is that C dominant 7. And that's really important, that transition. Okay, we've got something like that. And then the last part is something like this. Check out the tabs. Make sure that you practice slowly and in rhythm. Study the rhythm first. Now let's move on to turnaround number 3. Turnaround number 3 is pure minor blues scale, at least a lot of it, and some chromatic passages too. We are going to use this position, the 5th position of a G major pentatonic scale. And I know some of you might think that that's actually an E minor pentatonic scale, but really it's a G major pentatonic scale because we're playing it over that G dominant 7, and that's what makes it. All these notes are attracted to that G, so it makes it a G major pentatonic. A lot of chromatic passages here. Just make sure that you are using those 16th triplets. Okay, really important here. You can use some legato here to go down there, but I'll play that slow for you. The first 6 notes, that's what we have. And the bends are important here. Make sure that it's a full step bend. I'm starting that bend on the 2nd string, 15th fret, bending a full step, so it sounds like the 17th. The 3rd 16th triplet, right here, I'm actually reaching in with a bar here. Okay, and then I'm landing here on the blue notes. Okay, the next 6 notes, just chromatic, right? Starting on the 2nd string, 12th fret, going to the blue note and chromatic passage there, ending on the 14th fret of the 4th string. Make sure that that's really, really smooth when you play that. And then here, you might want to practice those 6 notes. The fingering. I'm starting with the pinky here to reach that blue note on the 3rd string, 15th fret. Pull off to 12. And then I'm playing the 3rd string, 14th fret. And then right below, playing the 14th fret on the 4th string. And this is important. Instead of doing a bar here, I'm actually using 2 fingers, the ring finger and the middle. I've got to roll. If I exaggerate the movement, I'm rolling my wrist a little bit to reach that. It sounds cleaner than doing a bar, I think, because those fingers have, their own strength, and if you use the same finger for both, one is not going to be, the string is not going to be pressured as much as the other one. You want the same amount of pressure here. Okay, so that's for the first bar. Sorry. Okay, and then we've got the actual turnaround, which highlights again. Practice really slowly. Make sure that you're working with the backing track too and you get the rhythm locked in. And let's move on to turnaround number 4. Lick number 4 has an interesting outside sound to it, which I really, really like. It's borrowed from Lydian dominant scale. So first of all, what does dominant mean? Dominant means 2 things. In order to be dominant, a musical element needs to have a major 3rd and a minor 7th. And a Lydian mode is a scale that has root, major 2nd, major 3rd, augmented 4th, perfect 5th, major 6th, and major 7th. So to make a Lydian mode dominant, we need to make sure that we have a major 3rd and a minor 7th. The Lydian has a major 3rd, so we don't touch that, but it has a major 7th, which we're going to change to minor 7th. So now, instead of having a Mixolydian mode, which works, on the typical dominant 7 chord, we're going to have a Mixolydian mode with an augmented 4th. And if we map out that scale all over the fretboard, we can extract from it this shape, which is a major triad. And a major triad starting from the augmented fourth. And we just repeat that. I'll play that in that context. It's a really an interesting sound that we can get there. And that's what we're using there. Make sure that you're starting on the second 16th triplet. Okay, and then we're transitioning to that major pentatonic in C. Because that's the chord we're playing over. And then at the end, the actual turnaround uses some sixths. That's the sixth harmony. So the distance between this note and this one is a minor sixth here, and then we've got some major sixths. But anyways, the tabs are there for you. It's a really cool lick. I encourage you to learn it, use it over the backing track, and of course, try to apply some of these ideas into your own playing. Let's move on to turnaround number 5. Turnaround number 5 is pentatonic. A lot of pentatonic stuff. We're going to start with G major pentatonic scale in that A position, which is the 4th position, and then graduate to the 5th position. Let me show you the close-up here. We're going to start here with a slide. We're going to approach that major third, the G major third, the major third of G, with a slide from the 11th fret, 2nd string, to the 12th fret, which is that major third. And then we transition to 5. That's all G major pentatonic. And then we're going to think of it as G minor pentatonic. So that's in its 5th position. And then chromatic thing for the turnaround. It is all together slow. You can really hear that. That kind of thing. If you want to practice these ideas and find new ones, you can download the assets for free. They're below. All you need to do is visit that link, enter your best email address, and I'll be sending you the tabs in Guitar Pro format, in PDF format, and also the full backing track for you to practice these. And if this was your first visit on this channel, thank you so much. I would love for you to subscribe because I have 3 videos coming every single week helping guitar players like you find your voice on the instrument, develop it to tell your own musical personality. Rewatch this as many times as you want, share it around. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.